Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Aspire to Be. Today we have Ben Berman, an MBA student at the University of Pennsylvania Wharton School of Business and the founder of Good Pizza Philadelphia. Ben worked as a strategy consultant. Ben, let's get the ball rolling. How did you get to become a strategy consultant and now an MBA student at Wharton?
Logan, so psyched to be here. Thank you for having me and excited to talk about all this. I'm honored to be here. When I was in undergrad, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my career. And I sort of knew that business was going to be what I was doing, but I had no idea what a career in business looked like. One of the things that was really scary is a lot of the business leaders that I looked up to in the world, I felt like they had careers that bounced around like crazy. Like there was no traditional path to becoming the person leading a company or starting a company that people admired or doing anything. So I felt like they were like vastly different backgrounds. And, I think I was thinking like, okay, if I want to be a doctor, I go to undergrad and then I go to medical school and then I do my residency and then you're a doctor. And if I want to go be a lawyer, go to college and then you go to law school and then you're a lawyer and you go work for a law firm. And this career in business was exciting, but also really scary because there were just all these opportunities but like bouncing around and how do you get to there? And I didn't even know what there was yet. And so what consulting offered me was an opportunity to sort of see the business world for a few years. It offered me sort of this really crazy job that involved being thrown into big companies to solve their hardest problems at a really young age, work with a team of really smart people, and get exposure to a whole set of business skills and business situations that could help me later on in my career. I also knew that consulting was a traditional path to end up in business school and get my MBA. So I graduated from undergrad in 2015. I worked for about 4 years, and now I'm in my second year of graduate school, getting my Master's of Business Administration at the Wharton School, like you said, and I'm set to graduate in May.
That's awesome. So what does a typical day look like for you as an MBA student, but also before when you were working as a strategy consultant?
Sure. So a day as a strategy consultant is never really the same. One of the things that management consultants, which is what I was doing, are known for is traveling a lot. So before school, in a typical year, I would usually spend about 140 nights in a hotel room during the year. So a traditional week would include Monday morning, you're on a plane to go see your client. I had clients, I was based out of Boston and then out of New York City, but I had clients in Dallas, Texas, and I had one in Thousand Oaks, California, and I had one in New Jersey and one in Boston. You're sort of all over the world and at least all over the country for your clients. So in a typical week, Monday morning, you have a plane flight down to meet your client and your client team, the sort of people at your firm that you're working with. Monday through Thursday, a typical day includes a bunch of meetings, a bunch of work to prepare whatever sort of problem you're trying to solve for your client. Data analysis, interviewing key stakeholders, preparing for a big meeting, crunching the numbers in some way, like trying to figure out a problem. The problem could be anything from we're thinking about launching this new product and we need some help to, we're seeing a decrease in our profits and we don't really know why, to we're considering buying a new company and we need some advice on whether that's a good idea. So Monday through Thursday, you're at your client site in whatever city it is, working on that problem with your team. Thursday night, you catch a flight back home and it's sort of great to get in your own bed again. You get a little bit of sleep that night. And then Friday, you're usually in your home office. So for me, back in Boston and then back in my New York office, catching up on things for the week, you're away from your client. That's sort of like a typical week for a management consultant. It's sort of a crazy but really fun job.
That's awesome. So what events would you say from high school and other higher education before college kind of pushed you in the direction that you're in today?
Yeah, I think I've always been fairly entrepreneurial, fairly excited about working collaboratively with people, getting things done. We talked a little bit when you gave the introduction about Good Pizza, and I want to talk a little bit about what I've been trying to accomplish there. For those who don't know, Good Pizza is this crazy sort of pizza pop-up / nonprofit that I started out of my apartment here in business school. So when the pandemic started, I made pizza for my friends and I lowered it out my second story window in Philadelphia to them on the street, just as a chance to make them smile. And over the summer that started to grow and grow. And now it's a real thing, I guess. I've raised about $65,000 so far for charity. So every single pizza is free, but I ask people to donate if they feel like I made their day a little bit brighter with the pizza. So we've donated about $65,000 to charity over the last few months. I've made about 500 pizzas here in my apartment. Every Sunday night, I make 20 pizzas. You can get a pizza by entering a lottery on Friday. There's usually about 1,000 people that sign up for each lottery for the 20 pizzas. It's like this totally crazy thing that's been happening. And I bring it up only because your question about sort of what drove me, like what are my high school experiences to get me here, is I see a very clear through line to business school and to good pizza from it. So for example, when I was in high school, I was invited to be part of something called the Wellness Committee. I went to public school in Maine, and I came up with this idea to start something called the Chef of the Month program, where I received funding from the school board to invite local chefs into our cafeteria and do a monthly cafeteria takeover where they would serve their food at school lunch prices. I think it was like an early example for me of proving to myself that I could accomplish something like that I could be entrepreneurial, finding a way to combine my love of food with a chance to flex some business skills and just build something. And I think that's sort of been a through line for my whole career. Is I like sort of spotting opportunities to build something, to be creative, but bring some structure to it, and create something that sort of makes people smile and something that people can look forward to.
That's really cool. What has been your favorite part about managing your own nonprofit? That's not something we really get to delve into a lot. So what has been the best aspect of managing your own nonprofit here?
I mean, the best part is definitely the response from people, right? Like, I get to make pizza for people every week, and it's such a blast to lure it out my window to people and get such a genuine, surprised, enjoyable reaction from folks. And then even cooler than that, I get to donate all of this money to organizations that I think are making a real impact in the world. $65,000 to organizations that are fighting hunger and homelessness in this city that I really feel like are moving the needle and making people's lives better. So the best part of managing the nonprofit has been getting through all the stress of making it happen every week and getting to give back a little bit and feeling fulfilled through that process.
Is there any advice you have for someone that would want to follow in your footsteps as a strategy consultant or MBA student?
Sure. I think as a strategy consultant and as an MBA student, it's about sort of always being curious about your surroundings. Like, I think the people who do well both in consulting and business school are the people who go to restaurants, for instance. I'm just using this as an example because it describes me, and are thinking, like, interesting. How do you think they get that much food out of the kitchen this quickly to serve people? Why is the menu priced this way? Or I wonder if they make more money on the wine than they do on the food. Or I wonder if the appetizers are more profitable than the entrees, right? Like those sort of questions about the world and why we make the decisions that we make and how firms compete against each other and why one pizza shop down the street is beating the pizza shop down the other street. Like, those are the questions that I get to think about at school, that I got to think about in consulting. I use food as an example because that's what I'm most interested in. But it might be that you are really interested in healthcare and that's the problem that you want to solve. Or you really like sort of supply chain work and you really want to figure out how some sort of widget is made and shipped to customers every day. You might be super fascinated by how Amazon is able to complete 2-day shipping. And if those problems speak to you, I think you're a really good fit for this. And I just encourage you to find whatever excites you like that and pursue it.
If there was one thing you could tell yourself back when you were in high school, what would it be?
I think it would be that fear about your career taking all these twists and turns is normal, and that everyone has those fears, and that you actually shouldn't be afraid of it. You should be excited about it. That having the opportunity to make those zigs and zags is what makes your career, especially your early career, so exciting. You just have all these opportunities that you get to pick and choose from, that you get to try to pursue, that you get to look forward to. And so I think there still is this fear for me of like, what's next? Like, what am I supposed to be doing? Oh my God, I think did I miss something? And I think looking back, I'd tell myself in high school and myself now to embrace all of that. Have fun, enjoy the process of getting there, because it's such a fun few years and you have everything out in front of you, and you should just be enjoying that ride and sort of dealing with things as they come.
All right, that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for coming. Do you have any other final thoughts or ideas just recommendations for anyone that might be watching this?
I just want to say thank you for having me. It's so enjoyable. I think what I'd love to hear is people's favorite pizza shops. I don't know, like that's my parting thought. That's what I'm most excited about. Wherever you are in the country, somehow tell Logan to tell me wherever the best pizza is so that next time I visit your area, I can go try that. Let's leave it there.
All right. Thank you again for coming. Bye.
Thanks so much, Logan.